It's great.
I'm sorry, the middle of May, the whole last 3 months have creeped up on me.
You're back in line.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so now back in open, we are looking at a couple of TDFs in front of us. Alana, I'm assuming I will pass this over to you for the Northern Region Women in Corrections Networking event, followed by the Giovanni's Italian Festival.
Perfect. And I'm going to do a great job of delegating this out. So Tara is going to present the corrections because she's been working with the group directly.
Okay, take it away, Tara.
Okay, so for the Northern Region Women in Correction Networking event, it is an annual event that's been hosted.
Tara?
Yep.
There's been a couple times, I don't know if you've been getting closer to the mic or whatnot, where it was a bit louder.
It's hard to hear you.
All right.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just bring my mic forward. Hello, good. Is that better?
Oh, yes. Hello.
Hi. Okay, perfect. So the Northern Region Women in Correction Networking event, it is an annual event happening over for 10 years, part of the Ministry of Solicitor General and Correctional Service Division. Last year it was in Sudbury. This year they have put some budget constraints on the event. They have asked for everyone to use a free government space, therefore putting them in the GTA area. So they have gone out to the different cities to see what they can do. We did put a bid in. So they're applying for the TDF essentially for event space to move the northern event back to the north. So they're looking at about 100 rooms over 2 nights, which puts them at a score of 52. So they're asking for up to $2,500 to offset the event space rental. Any questions?
And so, Tara, you said it was over 2 nights. So what does their programming over the days look like?
So essentially they would come in the night before and then they have a 1-day event. It would be an all-day event. So they would be staying the second night as well.
Conference, right?
Yes, there's going to be some skill building, wellness, networking, mentoring.
Okay. And so this is specific to the networking portion of their event.
So they haven't picked a venue or anything, they're just looking to see if they can get funding first?
We did go out to a bid. I was able to give them 2 out of the 3 event spaces were available, and I submitted it to the committee. So it's up to them to pick which one they wanted to go to.
So is this contingent on us giving them the $2,500 for them?
It is. Yes, yeah. If they can't get an event space taken care of, then they will move it back down to Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much to come up here.
Well, and
They're already here,
accommodations
they're in the north.
before-
It's the northern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spend money there.
Yeah. The issue is they do have the free, like the space in Toronto, a government building that can offer them the space at no additional cost. So in order to save on the budget, that's what they would have to do.
The room rates in Toronto and traveling to Toronto would be far cheaper to just pay for the room and their rental space here. That makes no sense. And I would hope that they went to hotels looking for meeting space in combining hotel room rates and space as opposed to going to a non-hotel rental space.
Right. Yes. They like everything under one roof.
And I'm sorry, I lost the dates.
It's October the 21st of this year.
After the spring training.
Yeah, it's a good
would be
start.
the event date. So they would come in the day before.
Checking what day of the week it is from. Tuesday's not a great day.
That's the busy statement.
Tuesday? Really? Okay, any other questions regarding this one here? Pretty straightforward. Okay. Okay, so the Giovanni's Italian Festival. Oh, hello, Trevor.
Hello,
It's a
everyone.
good day for that.
Oh, wait, she's delegating left and right.
Usually I pull this move.
I know.
Nice transition. So I'm gonna speak to Giovanni's Italian Festival. I believe everybody is familiar with this. It's the 7th year of the event. They've been hosting it down at the Bondar Pavilion. Fun-filled day of Italian food, music, as well as some vendors. It's been a growing event, brings significant traffic to the downtown area and strong participation from the community and growing participation from outside the community. They have requested $10,000 to support the event. It is a for-profit event. However, the funds that they have been collecting, they've been investing in other assets to build on the event, and including a porchetta roaster and some other products for the cooking aspect of the event. Despite being a for-profit event, because of the allocations that they put towards kind of event programming, they are bringing in performers from outside of the community. They do a significant firework display on their food cost and the marketing. They are showing a deficit of approximately $20,000. Should the board approve the $10,000, in discussions with them, we have indicated that it would be used for marketing. So $7,500 would be used for marketing to elevate the presence throughout Ontario, as well as Michigan, and representing Sault Ste. Marie as a more culturally diverse community. And the remaining $2,500 would be used to secure out-of-town performers and bring them to Sault Ste. Marie.
And so there was the soccer tournament came forward last time, correct?
Yes, they have decoupled themselves. Although certainly the Italian Festival
They have
is a
divorced.
nice addition in terms of additional programming with the soccer festival. So I think they complement one another. However,
Yeah. They're working together, but they're two separate accounts. Their finances are separate.
So that they can get 2 separate funds of money from us.
No, I think it's because registration fees and soccer fees and like, they're really running 2 independent events.
You're getting too big.
Yeah.
To run together. Yeah, I get it.
How do they plan on growing the Ontario, Michigan markets? I mean, that's the key to.
Yeah.
Continuing forward. Like,
Yeah.
What's
Marketing piece,
What's the
right?
plan?
yeah, I mean, through conversations that we've had with them, you know, they've looked at when they were scheduling their event, they're no longer aligned with the Sudbury Italian Festival. You know, they're expanding their marketing throughout Ontario. You know, they are looking at some key performers, you know, that they'd be bringing in and really kind of building off of, you know, the experience here. And they've also been doing outreach to some of the cultural groups outside of Sault Ste. Marie.
Looking at possibly influencers down the road too.
And that's $7,500 was directly to Ontario and Michigan.
Conversation that we had was to support them with the marketing. Like that's the area. If we can put the community out in market as a vibrant festival community that serves our city well.
So would Richard Jones be involved?
think we've been giving guidance overall to a lot of the events through Richard to the extent that we can. Mhm.
And the entertainment piece was the other part, right? They're bringing in performers from out of town, elevates the experience.
Last year, the TDFs were both combined, right?
Yeah.
Last year, I'd have to look at how it ordered. I know one year it was both combined. And then one year it was just the soccer tournament.
Maybe
And one
last
year it was just the Italian, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds like.
They've done a
last year
combination of-
was seven.
Yeah, I think it was.
They went 5,000 last year, they went 10,000.
Yeah, there was a bigger conversation last year.
so we,
Like-
yeah, and we've been
Yeah,
working with the
to cover.
soccer tournament, which we talked about last time, to expand that out and grow that out, which brings. A significant number of people from out of town in, who come and attend this festival, like they're
Yeah.
coming to do,
It's an app.
it's an
Mhm.
add-on to it,
It
enhances,
doesn't make them sign up for the tournament.
correct,
It makes it a better experience. Is that
Correct.
what we're saying?
Yeah.
I have a couple things. One, I always get concerned when I talk about this. So Italian.
I know,
Well,
Yeah.
I always get concerned, we have events that are asking every single year for more money, which tells me they're not getting better at running their event. But at the same time, it says for profit, excuse me, but it does talk about donating.
Mhm.
So maybe that's a conversation we should have about profit, non-for-profit, because if you're any additional profit are gonna be given to charity, that, to me, that is a way better thing than if it's just to make money for themselves.
I can speak to that with this one. The money that's donated by to charity is not coming out of their actual, and which is why you'll see the money different, so it's people that are making donations at the door. So people that are coming to the event are making the donations, those donations are going to the charity,
That's very different.
very different, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd be way more comfortable, one, if I could see that anybody was coming to Sault Ste. to spend the night to go to this.
Mhm.
But I understand it's an enhanced thing and we're looking at festivals. And if we can see that they're growing in a way that they're not asking for more money every year, because that scares me, because now we're just propping up there. Which we're supposed to be getting away from, right?
The marketing piece to me is the differentiator, is that it's not going into their pockets to run the event, it's marketing and promotion of the event for the city.
Right, but then the money they would have spent on marketing, they're now.
Right.
Mhm.
But is
Or they
there,
would have.
We have a stronger
Influence on it.
influence on the
It's
marketing.
always the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Essentially expands our, to a certain degree, our marketing budget.
is there long-term plan that really say that Sault Ste. Mary's got this Italian festival?
Yeah, I mean, they want to make it.
People do come, last year they did have, somebody at the door asking people for postal codes when they came in. Yep, and they did track people coming in, yeah, a lot of it family, people that are coming, you know, because they have roots here, that are coming home for the,
I would love to see them partner with a hotel or two and get a group code.
Mhm.
So that at least you could say, okay, well, I had 12 room nights from it, doesn't
Mhm.
sound like a lot.
but
But
it's,
that's something to then go, okay, you know, if you got 12, then there's a sprinkling everywhere else, then, you know, maybe that's 20
Yep.
room nights.
Mhm.
we can
and-
certainly make that recommendation.
At some point, I'd love to see any group that's coming back a second, third, or fourth time. Present a 5-year plan before we give them money. Show us your 5-year plan, and then we'll talk about whether we're gonna give you money every year. Cause this just gets that same conversation every year about giving money. I think the reason this year's money's different, I don't question it, but it'd be nice to see that you got a plan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think we might have touched on it last month, I'm reworking the application form to embed those types of questions in it.
I think it just helps because, you know, we are seeing the repetition now as opposed to.
Which I agree with you. Put that out there. The other piece of it is the ones that are repeating year to year to year are the events that are showing some elements of success if they're running year over year over year, which
For sure.
in event and festival land are your best options for growth.
Mhm.
So it's a matter of refining how those funds get allocated to actually impact growth. In my,
Is there an opportunity to put some stipulations in there that they need to go to 3 hotels and ask for,
I think,
I don't know, something to just show us that they're, because I'll tell you what they do for me, they fill my parking lot. They don't fill my hotel, they don't fill my patio, they piss off my guests who can't park, just go to my patio or stay in the hotel because the
Yeah.
parking lot's full.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do any good for me, but if I could see that it was bringing business to town, at least I'll be like, okay, well, that's a sacrifice, we'll make, or we'll have to
Yeah.
manage it differently.
Yeah.
fair.
I went to the Italian festival, but I went for your place for lunch.
So you can park.
Yeah, no, and I think that's an
Now you
easy
told him that he can
conversation.
just park there.
That's an easy conversation. We can do that.
Okay, anything else on the Giovanni's Italian Festival? That was 10,000. But it doesn't have to say in the resolution that it's on the marketing, that's part of
Let me
it.
do that on the agreement.
Okay. We can move into the resolutions then. The first resolution is with regards to the previously discussed and closed municipal accommodation tax increase. And that resolution reads, be it resolved that Tourism Sault Ste. Marie supports an increase to the municipal accommodation tax from 4% to 6%, with the additional 2% to be specifically allocated towards the implementation of the waterfront development plan. Do I have a mover for this resolution? Kevin, and a seconder? Nick. And all in favor? Okay, that one carries. Next, we have the TDF for the Northern Region Women in Corrections Networking event. That resolution reads, be it resolved that the Tourism Sault Ste. Marie Board of Directors recommend a contribution of $2,500 through the Tourism Development Fund Conferences and Special Event Stream to support the Northern Region Women in Corrections Networking event to be hosted October 21st, 2025, and that a report be submitted to City Council for consideration and approval. Do I have a mover for this resolution? Lawrence? And Richard as a second, and vote please. And that one carries. The final resolution today is with regards to the Giovanni's Italian Festival. Be it resolved that the Tourism Sault Ste. Marie Board of Directors recommend a contribution of $10,000 through the Tourism Development Fund Conferences and Special Event Stream to support the Giovanni's Italian Festival to be hosted July 6th to 2025, and that a report be submitted to City Council for consideration and approval. Do I have a mover for this one? Lawrence? And a seconder? Richard, and I'll call for a vote on this one. And Kevin, you already know.
Fine.
So that one does carry though. Okay. That concludes all of the resolutions. Our next meeting is set for June the 17th, 2025. Do I have a mover for adjourning today?
I bring up one thing before we. adjourn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has there been any conversation with tourism? I know the city, but tourism specifically within the city advocating to the government for any of the changes to the immigration plan?
We are, yes, we were waiting, so, no, let me
No, yes,
clarify this.
maybe.
With the election being settled, the intent was, so speaking, you know, the RCIP falls into my department. There have been some changes to the program that we don't view as favorable. And very problematic in terms of being able to serve our local employers in a number of the positions that we need to help address. The intent, hopefully in the near future, is that is a conversation perhaps with a federal representative.
Yeah, once this all comes through, we're in trouble in our industry.
Yep.
For sure, to be, and it's gonna have impact on schools and programs.
Yeah. Oh, you're referring to some of the stuff that's just come out.
Well, both, but the fact that.
Yeah.
That there's gonna be an awful lot of new Canadians that are gonna have to leave. And less that can come in,
Mhm.
and we're already struggling to find good people, and now we're gonna be in a bigger trouble.
Mhm. Let's follow up on that. We are one of 18 communities across Canada that have access to RCIP, Rural Community Immigration Program, which is a pathway. So depending on the positions.
Right.
Well, but that is the caveat to it, is depending on the positions. We've got great team members in positions that we can't call everybody a supervisor, but
Yeah.
that we want to support. And that's the caveat.
I have a sales manager that wanted the motion to be a guest service supervisor.
Yep.
To apply to PR. And
Okay.
I've been in this
So
situation with. a
whole
business as well.
other, keeping on my RCIP hat, can you guys send me an email with positions that you're dealing with problematically right now?
There's, and I understand some of the, if you. Let's say you're from India and you studied culinary in India and you come here to study culinary, you're good. Because you're just bringing those skills, enhancing them and working in our industry. But if you study tech in India and you come here to study culinary, you're not eligible. Because you didn't bring that skill with you. Like there's little things like that are, yeah, weird. It is different. I understand why they're doing it though, because what was happening, just to get in the country, they were applying for whatever would get them in. So you'd have, especially when there was during the pandemic, if you personal care, what do they call PSW? People were applying for those jobs or the education to get trained, had no intention of ever doing the job. So I can see kind of why they did it. It's gonna put the hospitality industry.
Reach out to me because there might be some kind of discrepancies between what you're seeing and what I'm not saying that there is 100%, but reach out to me with the roles that you're having issues with.
Because the lady that we deal with the city
Lakeisha.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And not just like, she's so helpful, so great and
Knowledgeable.
knowledgeable, tries, but at the end of the day, there's an awful lot of people who are really good quality associates.
Yeah.
That are going.
100%.
So, I mean, you carry a bigger stick than any one hotel.
So you've now figured out my secret, eh? I hire really competent staff and I do very little.
I don't know anything about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna golfing today.
Okay, shall we move to adjourn then?
Yes.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Lawrence, Kevin. Adios. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes.
That ship over there.
Thank you, Tara.